All right, well, we got a team in the SEC. All right, and I know what you're thinking. That marquee above this team says Vanderbilt. All right, but boy, we got a top 10 Vanderbilt team hosting College Game Day this week, 3:30 ESPN game. They are hosting a top 15 matchup as Missouri, coming off their hectic night in Jordan Hare, heading to Nash Vegas, whatever they've been calling that place, man. Diego Pavia got that place jumping. The Bussin' Boys, Josh Pate, everybody's going to be there this weekend. Huge weekend for the Vanderbilt Commodores after a huge weekend in Nashville last weekend when they get a huge win against LSU, a top 10 team. Vanderbilt sitting at a 3.5 point favorite. Over under total 52 and a half. And Will, this Vanderbilt team is for real. We have talked about them plenty this year, a lot more than we probably thought they were. There's a guy on this show that picked Vanderbilt to finish 1-7 in the SEC this year. And they might just reverse roles on that. They might go 7-1. Will, this Vanderbilt team is legit 6-1, 2-1 in the SEC right now. But a very good Missouri team coming in. They don't go out there and they don't beat the drum off of people, but the reality is this team's only losses against Alabama, who's one of the better teams in the league, and Vanderbilt's only losses to Alabama, one of the better teams in the league. So very interested to see how this one plays out. Eli Drinkwitz, Clark Lee going at it. Should be an amazing game in Nashville.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We live in a world where Missouri and Vanderbilt are both 6-1 in the top 15, and that's kind of your marquee game of the week. It's beautiful, really. I think I saw this as Vanderbilt's first 6-1 start since like the 1950s. It's wild, but really love to see it. I've watched full games from both of these teams because not only do they have losing to Alabama in common, but they also have beating South Carolina in common. And boy, oh boy, I got to see that Vanderbilt game in person, up close, and it was ugly. And that Missouri game, much closer. I don't know what that's worth, but I really like what I see out of this Vanderbilt team and Diego Pavia, what they were able to do this last week against LSU. Just really impressive. And Vandy gets this one at home again, which you got to be feeling good about. Eli Drinkwitz, they're hard to beat. Those Missouri Tigers are hard to beat. They still had a chance, like late in that Alabama game, to beat the Crimson Tide there. Auburn could have beat them this most recent weekend, but Missouri still found a way. So I don't know, they might find a way again. But I love this Vanderbilt story, and I feel like it's going to be a special season. That specialness continues this weekend.
Yeah, it was weird. It's weird saying that we are previewing Missouri and Vanderbilt this weekend. It honestly does. It still feels surreal. Like I mean, you literally cannot get the image of like Vanderbilt football's past out of your mind and like comprehend. Like we can say it over and over again, like, but you just can't like comprehend that we are really talking about a top 10 Vanderbilt team, like a legit top 10. We've seen fraudulent top 10 teams, all right, and they just maybe haven't played anybody to this point. Like Vanderbilt is battle tested. Like I mean, they've withstand some punches already, and like I said, they're a couple turnovers away from being undefeated right now. And this team, the go Diego go, or whatever you said the other night. Yeah, it is he goes, we go type mentality for that Vanderbilt offense. LSU got sucked into playing a Vanderbilt style football game, time of possession, running the football, kind of ground and pound you to death. Well, the fun thing is Missouri loves to play that way too. So it is going to be a matchup. They say styles make fights. Well, these two styles match up pretty well. And both teams are going to try to do exactly what the other one is going to try to do. So it should be interesting. You have two really talented guys here with Ahmad Hardy on the Missouri side, probably the best running back in the SEC. And then you have a guy in Diego Pavia who actually leads Vanderbilt in rushing, who does tremendous damage with his legs. But the real strides that Vanderbilt has made this year is because of his passing ability. Last year, in the 50s in completion percentage. Just wasn't very efficient. This year, up to 70% completion percentage, 15 touchdowns, those 4 turnovers. But that is the key here is Vanderbilt wants to limit your possessions. Clark Lee and company have built this offense around being talent deficient. And Brian Kelly actually said in his press conference, it is like literally like a modern version of the triple option. Like you're playing Navy, Army. They just have a tremendously amount of better players, right? But the goal is all the same. Like they just want to run. They want to confuse you with your eye discipline on defense. So a lot of things that this Vandy or offense throws at you, but it all revolves around Diego Pavia. He made some plays in that LSU game that just other dudes don't make. And, they are game defining type plays like converting big third downs, big fourth downs, like stuff that really doesn't show up in the stat sheet that guy does every single week. There's a lot of people out there that look at Diego Pavia's stats and they say, well, I mean, he's throwing for 160 yards. Like, who cares? Like, he's not that good. Those are people that don't watch the games because, like you said, me and you have watched this team up personal. They are the real deal. They do what they do, and they do it very well. Will, like, this is one of the best offenses in the entire country, statistic wise. So, I mean, no easy task for Missouri in that defense, who has struggled at times stopping the run this year. But like I said, it should be a fun matchup there in Nashville. I think Missouri's going to hang around in this thing. I think Eli Drinkwitz is a really good football coach. You're going to have that team very well prepared on Saturday.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game. Do you know what the line is on this yet?
This one is 3.5. Vanderbilt is favored.
Yeah, so they think it's going to be a close one too. Vandy at home, I mean, that's probably what gives them the nod, right? But otherwise, it'd kind of be a toss-up. We like to talk about playoff as we're getting closer to the end of the season now. Somebody's going to leave this game 7-1, and it feels like if you're a SEC team 10-2, you're pretty much guaranteed to go to the playoff. And boy, oh boy, like winner of this game is gonna be saying, "Hey, just finish 3-1 to finish the year, and you're gonna be in the playoff." Like, gotta like that. Just really high stakes. Gotta love it. How about this? Missouri and Vanderbilt, big stakes.
Right, headlining the SEC slate this week. Missouri and Vanderbilt, kind of just crazy. College game day going to be there in Nashville. What is Josh Pate? Josh Pate's going to be there. Busting with the boys, probably going to be there. All of them in Nashville. Nashville's a crazy place right now. A crazy place. Like, who knows what's going on? You got celebrities going to Vanderbilt games now. Like, things are changing. All right, things are they got all that construction going on. Like Vanderbilt looks like a damn rocket ship. I remember when Vanderbilt used to look like a middle school like field. Like it used to literally look like that, and the whole visiting section was like filled with the opposing team's fans, and it was embarrassing all the time. It was just like Vanderbilt was like where you planned your vacation. Like it was like, oh, we're gonna go visit Nashville the weekend we play Vanderbilt and just go to the game. And it's not like that. You better come strapped up when you come to Vanderbilt because Clark Lee and the boys are rolling right now. But I kind of want to talk about Missouri. This is a team that really flies under the radar in the SEC. I feel like every single year they're kind of doing that thing where they are winning the games they're supposed to and losing the games they're supposed to, if that makes sense. But they don't really do anything that necessarily jumps off the page to you. They don't have the publicity that Vanderbilt has right now. Nobody's really talking about them. But this is a very good Missouri team, and like I said, it's headlined with Ahmad Hardy, a guy that is got to be tops in the SEC in rushing, almost 1,000 yards already at 840. And Bo Perbula, the Penn State transfer, has been really solid for Missouri. After trying to replace a guy like Brady Cook, who was there for a long time. Bo Perbula made a lot of plays in that Auburn game, and a lot of people don't think about it, but he does a lot of things with his legs that I think people don't see in the stat sheet as well. It's the same thing with Diego Pavia we kind of talked about, where it's the hidden yards on 3rd and 6, and he scrambles and picks up a huge first down, and little things like that. This Missouri defense on the other side of the ball really good at getting after the passer. But that is not something that Vanderbilt is going to set themselves up for. So I don't know how much of an advantage it is that they have great ends and get to the quarterback, because we saw LSU have the tremendous talent they do on the edge. And they weren't able to get to Diego Pavia. He was able to evade pressure. That Vanderbilt offensive line, probably one of the tops in the SEC right now, probably one of the tops in the nation, could be a Joe Moore finalist. The way they do it, I don't know if you saw on the broadcast of the Vanderbilt LSU game, but they actually run like a speed and a strong side offensive line. So based off of whatever formation they run, they have two strong side guard and tackle. And then if the play is going to one side, they shift and they'll play left tackle, left guard. And then the next play, they'll play right tackle, right guard. Kind of funky, but it's working. So, interesting wrinkle there for that Vanderbilt offense. But prediction wise, I'm rolling with Vanderbilt. I don't see how this thing comes off of the tracks right now, the way this train's going. Diego Pavia and company in Nash Vegas. It's just College Game Day is going to be there. I just don't see a world where Missouri handles this situation well. And it's just another feather in the cap for Vanderbilt. And if they win this game, man, the realization is that Vanderbilt is on the cusp of being a college football playoff team. And you want to know what
Yep.
is the most embarrassing thing, Will, is South Carolina and LSU have not made the college football playoff yet in the modern era, right? Well, I guess LSU did in 2019, but
Yeah.
the expanded playoff, like Vanderbilt is going to could be the first team to make it over teams like Florida, teams like Texas A&M, like teams that are investing so much in their football programs, and then here's little old Vanderbilt just sitting at 6-1. SEC,
Yeah.
pretty favorable, matchups going down the road. Should be favored in majority of the games that they're going to play the rest of the season, I would think. So very realistic possibility that if Vanderbilt walks away with a win on Saturday, that they're going to have a very good shot of being in the college football playoff.
No doubt it'd be very good because 7-1, but then they got road trips at Texas and at Tennessee in the month of November. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind also crazy things happen in the SEC, but still, you're looking really good to make the playoff, like you said. And I need a Vanderbilt versus Indiana national championship. Like inject that into my veins. That would be awesome.
The least viewed national championship of all time, no doubt.
But it'd be so awesome. But anyway, as far as this game goes, I think Vanderbilt's going to continue, anchored down. They're going to continue doing that, and they're going to get a good win over Missouri this weekend.
You know what's crazy is they did an interview with Diego Pavia, and my man was talking about Alabama, right? And they obviously lost, and he was in his exact like you can't even breed this type of craziness that Diego Pavia speaks when he talks to the media. And the funny thing is he says it so much that it's like you have to take him serious now, right? And he was asked about Alabama, and his legit response was, "I just hope Alabama keeps winning, so when we play them in the SEC championship game, or he was like, I hope they can make it to the SEC championship game so we can play them again." And I was like, "What? You're talking about Vanderbilt ain't never even sniffed the SEC championship game, and he's over here just like." Yeah, I just hope Alabama just keeps winning, so we'll get the chance to face them again when we play for the SEC championship game. Like the confidence is unreal. Like, and
If
I
you don't
know
believe, who will? You know what I mean?
it's like I understand. Like last year, he said a bunch of crazy things, and everybody kind of like, whatever. They ended up finished like 7-5, I think, last year. So it was like, yeah, you had a good year, but you're still Vanderbilt. But like this year, like doubling down and just like pedal to the metal. Clark Lee and this team are going to the moon. I expect them to win on Saturday. Will expects them to win on Saturday. It should be an exciting matchup no matter what. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. Make sure you check out all of our stuff. We're going to be posting everything, previews throughout the week of everything going on in week 9. And then make sure to catch our reactions after Saturday is over. Thank you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, Will. It's free. Every time we do this, I think I have to reiterate that it is free. It costs you nothing, signs you up to nothing. I believe it does send you an email letting you know that you are subscribed, though. So you will have to deal with that. But other than that, all it does is help us out. And then you get to see us do crazy takes and talk ball about things we have no clue what's going to happen about, like everybody else you watch. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all of our socials. We're on the Twitter. We're on the Insta Flop Gram,
The gram, right?
the Gram, the IG.
Facebook.
Yeah, hit us in the DMs. You know what the kids say. But yeah, all right, we're going to end it on that one. We'll see you guys next time. Appreciate you guys for watching.